Welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Slidescope. In this part, we are trying to create this student performance analysis dashboard. This is for Portuguese language and this data set is downloaded from UCI.edu website. In this data set, you can see we have a lot of features and we have three target values that are grades of students. So we have created three different dashboards where we will see effect of these different features on these grades. In some cases we have used average of grade, in some cases we have used sum of grade, etc. So you will see average of grades by mother's job, by father's job, by mother's education and father's education, by reason to join the school, if family support is there, if family relationships are good quality and family size is smaller or higher, on the basis of previous failures, average of grade by daily alcohol consumption and higher education desire, average of grade by age group that is given here. So everything, what is the data set, what is the meaning of each variable here will be taught to you. So let's get started and learn this. So the data set for student performance analysis looks like this. In this data set you can see we have variables like school, gender, age, address, family size, fee status, menu, etc. So we have different columns and their name and everything is provided on the official site from where we downloaded the dataset. This is UCI.edu website. Here this dataset is used for predicting student performance in secondary education, and this data approach student achievement in secondary education of two Portuguese schools, and the data attributes include school, gender, age, address, family size, binary values are there. LE3 means less or equal to 3, GT3 means greater than 3. In address, we have home address type. U means urban and R means rural. Similarly, we have age. School, gender is given as F or M, female or male. School, GP means Gabriel Pereira or MS Machino da Silveria. So this particular, when you will download this zip file, it will contain two different files. We are using this particular file here, and here you can see we have two schools. Okay. MEDU means mother's education, FEDU means father's education. It is numeric 0 none, 1 primary education up to 4th grade, 2 5th to 9th grade, 3 secondary education, 4 higher. So you can see how they have categorized the column, how they have categorized the educational column in terms of numeric value. So like a ordered, uh, you know, ordered value they have given it. So now we have this data set, and now we will simply load this data set. Whenever you are doing some kind of analysis, it is always good to see, what is your target value. So here you can see we have around 33 features, and here the target value will be, so here we have three target values, G1, G2 and G3. This is first period grade, that is numeric from 0 to 20. Then we have G2 second period grade, numeric from 0 to 20. So these two are categorical, and G3 integer final grade, so numeric 0 to 20. So this is first period grade, second period grade, and G3 is the final grade. So you can also see information of if there are any missing values in any particular column. So here for all columns we don't have any missing values. So now we are going to load this data set in analysis tools and start analyzing the data. So our data set is in CSV file. So we will simply use Power BI to load this file here. Use text CSV. So here we will select the student por.csv file. So in the data set, there are two subjects, mathematics and Portuguese. So when you will download the zip file, you will see two files here, student mat and student por. So we are using the Portuguese file here. So that's what we have connected here, student Portuguese, and we will simply load the data. So while doing analysis, we have to see the effect of different type of variables, different type of features on our target variables here, which are G1, G2 and G3. First, we will create some headings for our dataset. This is Student Performance Analysis Dashboard. So for Portuguese subject. So you can simply write the title, and you can resize your title size here by selecting it. Obviously we did not select, and this is Student Performance Analysis Portuguese. And here what we can do, we can simply invert the color. We use a white color here, and for this entire heading, to do effect, enable shadow and use some background color. So let's say for Portuguese, we will create two dashboards here, one for Portuguese language, one for mathematics. So for Portuguese, let's say we are going to choose this particular color here. And since this is a simple dashboard, we can also bring one image here representing something like student performance. To bring images, you can click on the insert tab here. From insert tab, you can click on these images. You may also get view like this, so you have to select from this image. So I have simply got this image from Canva, and I am going to use it here. So it's your choice, whatever you want to use. I am just using a simple image to represent our analysis. And you can similarly click on the image and go to effect and enable some shadow here as well. So the first thing to analyze will be seeing average, maximum and minimum grades for G1, G2 and G3. So we have a lot of ways to do this. For example, if we create a simple card here, because these are our target variables, right? So if we simply create a card here and add fields here, so this is sum of G1. So we have to get average, minimum and maximum. So average G1 grade is 11.40 for all students, right? Similarly, if you want, you can see minimum. So minimum grade is 0 and maximum value is 19. So this is what on an average a student has got. Now what we can do here, because we have to see for three different variables, so we can also use a multi-row card. In multi-row card we can show three different values. Okay, so let's say I drag G1 here. So first I will write average of G1, then I will drag G1 once again, and then I will say minimum of G1, and then I will drag G1 once again, and I will say maximum of G1. So this way I will have three values, like what is average, what is minimum and what is maximum value for G1. And on the basis of different filters, different categorical fields that we can use as a filter, we will be seeing changes in this. Before moving further, what we have to do, make sure you have selected the multi-row card. You can, this is build visual, this is in visual, this is add data, and this is the format your visual. So go to format your visual. You can see values are very small here. We can increase size of value, make them bold, and we can choose a color that represents our theme. So this is value. Now this is category level, the levels that we are seeing here. We can also increase size of category level, make them bold as well. So whatever size you prefer, you can keep it. So this is going to tell you average of G1, minimum G1. So we can also place it here. Okay, this is average of G1. We will simply press Command C or Control C as per your computer's configuration, and we'll make three different copies of them. Okay, so we can adjust it a little bit so that we have these values. So let me just adjust. So we have here G1. Now similarly here we are simply going to change this to G2 and this to G3. After creating this, we can simply go to effect and enable shadow if needed, so that we can easily see a differentiation between three different values. You can also choose different colors for them. It's your choice. Like you can make more modifications in each card, but this way we can simply see that for G3 11.91 is the average value, 0 is minimum for all of them, 19 is maximum for all of them, right? And make sure we have average maximum minimum, average maximum minimum, average maximum minimum. And these G1, G2, G3 as we read previously are grades for the first, second and final periods. I have selected the second card here, and simply in effects I have selected a simple background here. You can also do it with the help of one multi-row card, but I have preferred three because I want, if needed, we can give them different colors. Currently we are just collapsing the filters tab here. We are just opening visualizations and data tab. Now in order to count total number of students in a particular group or anywhere, we can use count rows because here one row represent a student. So we can simply go to modeling tab and create a new measure here. We will call it student count, or we can also call it something like hashtag students. Just making the heading short so that we can use it in labels. And for this we will use count rows, and in count rows you just have to put table name. Table name is student Portuguese here. So this is the table name, and let's see if it will give correct value. So here first let's visualize it in a card value, and this is hashtag student. We can see 649, which we can verify from the column count here, 649. Now why we are doing this? Because okay, this is average grade, right? Now if you want to see how many students have got these different grades, or grade wise you want to see distribution of students, so what we can do, let's say we are taking the G3 as example, we will create new group out of G3. So what this option does is, uh, so we have values from 0 to 19. So this new group will divide that range, that is from 0 to 19, into bins. Currently bin size is 1, that for every value we have one bin, total number of groups. So we will say we want, so from 0 to 19 we don't want 18 groups, right? That means for every grade value. So let's say we want 5 groups. So average bin size will be 3.8. Okay, 6, or let's say 4 groups, 4.75. So this way you can decide how many bins do you need. So let's say we want 6 bins. So that means grades will be between 0 to 3.5, then 0 to 3.1, then 3.1 to 6.1, and so on. Okay, either you can specify like this, or you can say I want to divide it into bin size of 4, 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, and so on. So whatever you decide, this will create G3 bins. Okay, I am just showing you with G3 bins. Similarly you can also create with G1, G2 to see the effect. We simply want to see, are more students, how many students are there in each grade group. Okay, so for that we will create a stacked column chart here, and in our stacked column chart we are simply going to use, on x-axis we will use G3 bins, and on y-axis the number of students that we created. So we created the number of students, and now you will get an idea that this is student by age group, student by grade group. Okay, students who have got between 0 to 4 are 16 students. Total number of students that got between 4 to 8 or 5 to 9 are 14 students. Then student between 8 to 12, there are 271 students. So most students have got the G3 grade for this class. The value is 8, 271 students. And then 12 is something that is achieved by 8 to 12 is achieved by 266. Okay. So either you can do it like this, or what you can do, you can just use G3 here. So because there are less number of values, so this will also give you an idea for different groups. Whatever you prefer. For example, here you can see grade 11 is the grade that is achieved by 104 student, and this is the highest value here. Okay. So most students have got grades between 11, and there are some outliers we can say. Obviously, some students have performed poorly and their grade is 0. So this is something that you can create, and this is number of students by G3. Title is good. We will just align the title in center. Use a font size, color size. For these bars also, we are going to choose the uh, you know these are grid lines. So for these columns, we'll choose the color, which is our targeted color here, or theme color, and here we have the value. Okay. Now here what you can do, you can also bring other variables to see the effect. I will show you just how. First I will go to effect and enable shadow and visual border. Now in visual border, when we are enabling the visual border, so we have to select any color there, and we can select the radius also. This is optional. This is something I do most of the times, and for me it looks good. Now here we have student by G3, and we also have absences, age, failures, etc. So we have many categorical columns. So if you want to see effect of any categorical column on how grade 3 is distributed, okay. So here for example internet is there. So many students have internet, yes or no. So let's say the students who have internet is having internet, will it affect grade, right? So what we can do, we can simply bring the internet here. So let's search for internet and select this chart. In this chart, in legend, bring that value. Okay. Now you will see internet, yes and no. You can see we have more values in every group with internet, yes. Okay. And you can see when internet is yes, so the ratio of number of students in higher grade groups is also higher. So this is something that you can visualize with stack chart. You can also visualize it with cluster chart. You can see here. So you can see more student have, yes, this is true, more student have internet, but you can see there that this having internet is also affecting, like in higher grades, the ratio of those students who have internet is more than those students who don't have internet. We can say this variable will affect the performance, and we can, now we have two different colors here. So we can select series, like for no we can select a particular color. So let's say for no we are selecting a red color. Okay, no. And for yes we will select a dark blue color, and as per the theme also we can select, let's say this color. So it is your choice whatever you want to select, but this is student by G3 and internet, and we can see the effect. Next important variable is absences, number of school absences numeric from 0 to 93. So we can see that if a student is absent, like if the student has more absences, what is the effect on grade? Okay, so what we can do here, we can use a scatter plot when we have to see effect, or when you have to see the relationship between two numerical variables like grade and absences is also numerical variable. So we can use either a scatter plot, or we can use clustered column chart also, but here let's see. So in absences we will, because absences we want to see the effect of absences on grade. So we will bring absences on x-axis, and on y-axis we will bring grade. We are just doing G3 here. Similarly, we can create for G1, G2 and G3 all of them, and this will by default show summarized data that this is the effect, but here we will say don't summarize. Here also we will say don't summarize. So you can see for different grades, and we can bring a trend line. If the trend line has a negative slope, that will tell us that students who have more absences, their grades are declining, right? So you can see we have slightly downward slope here, which shows this type of conclusion, that and it is true that students who are absent, right, their grades will be lower. So yes, in some cases there are students who can recover even being absent, but you can see absences 0, grades are mostly higher. Yes, but this is not entirely true. In some cases, like students who have absences 0, they have very poor grades also. But for most of them, we can say collectively that when absences are increasing, grades are decreasing. And you can choose any different type of color here. These are called markers. So we can go to format visual, and in markers, I will select a different shape like this. And if you want to see density, so we can also increase the size, right? Something like this. So more like a heat map. But here we will just keep it like -10, which is by default. And here color we will choose according to the theme. This is absences and G3. We want to apply the same styling here. So we will simply select this format painter and apply here. So this is absences and G3, and we can clearly see the trend line also. And just for test, you can, let's say, replace G2 by G3. So, and instead of sum, just always use don't summarize. Here also you can see the same thing. Similarly for G1 also we can do that. Later we will also show you how we can apply them as a filter. But in all the periods, what is effect of G1, like period wise grades are there. So what is effect of absences on them? So that is something that we can see. In this dashboard, we will focus on G3, and it will be very easy for us to duplicate this and create it for G1, G2, and even in G2 as well. Now we have a numerical value which is age. Okay, so we can also see similar kind of effect with age. So we will just use, instead of absences, we will use age here, and always don't summarize. So here you can see on, because on y-axis we have grade 3, and here we have different ages, right? From 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. So you can see in different ages what is the overall performance. Here you can see grades values. For example, higher grades are there. So we can see the number of students are reducing in each age group, but grade wise we can see the average grades are there. But obviously in this case, like for values with age 17 and 18, we have the highest values like grade 19 and grade 19 are in these age groups. Now to see it in a proper way, we can also use a stacked column here, and in a stacked column on x-axis we are trying to bring the value. So on x-axis we will try to bring age, because age is already, we have 6 or 7 age groups there, so we don't have to create a group now. And on y-axis we will see effect of G3. Here we can also see effect on G2, G3, etc. Which I sorry, here G2. So you can see G1, G2 and G3, their effects in parallel. And here we can use a clustered or to see them in different group bins also. So you can see here, and we have we can see that G3 for every age group is higher here. So what we want to actually see is the average, like what is the average is there, what is the average of this, what is the average of this, right? So what is the average grade in each age group, and by this we want to see is age group or is the age value affecting grades. So you can see obviously in age group 19 values are lower, or 20 these are higher. So yes, age do has some kind of effect on grades here, and this is simply average of G3, G2 and G1 by age. We can also just use G3 as we were using, and we can simply copy the styling here, but I am showing you if you want to use a combined report you can do that. In these type of charts you can also go to data labels and enable data label to see the average grade value in each group as well. And the whole purpose is to see if all these variables have some effect on grades. If suppose we were seeing equal values in equal bars in every age group range, then we would have said that this variable is not causing any effect, but here we can say it is causing little effect on grades. And here if you want, in the format visual part you can disable or enable the title. So currently we will disable the value because this is average of G3 by age, so we can see the average grades here. Next value that we have is DALC, which is workday alcohol consumption. This has 5 values from, you can see, from 1 to 5. So we can also see its effect. So again the best type of chart here also can be this, and here we can see uh, we on x-axis instead of age we will bring DALC, and you can see on the basis of daily alcohol consumption on work day. So average grades are also affecting, like people who have more, like in range of 4 daily alcohol consumption, 4 what is whatever this is. So on the basis of this grades are changing, and this is workday alcohol consumption, and very low to very high. So in case of high we can say 1, 4 will be high. So in case of high alcohol consumption, the average of G3 is decreasing. Now this may be unrelated, but this is another variable with yes no type of value. Want to take higher education, okay? So here we can also bring these type of values into consideration. So let's say in legend we will bring higher, want to take higher education or not, okay? Obviously we'll use it in a lot other analysis also. So now in legend when you plot this you will see those who want to have higher education, their average value is more, right? And obviously as per alcohol consumption we can see the trend is almost the same, although here it is in reverse, but this way you can also see those who want to pursue higher or go into higher education, their grades in every group here, their average values are higher. We can also use similar type of colors that we have used so far, for no and yes. For no, that color. And because we can see, as I said, in one of this case it is reverse. We can also use ribbon to see it properly, right? In case of ribbon, you can see for when average values are in this range, like when daily alcohol consumption is on a higher range, in those cases, uh, the no value are higher in terms of average of G3. And you can simply zoom the graph also from here and you will see the same thing in effect. Like what is the average grade in each alcohol consumption group here. Now next variable we have is failures. Failures simply represent number of past class failures. So a student who have previous class failures, you know, how is their average age, average grade distributed. So for that, what we can do, we can simply copy this one more time, and here instead of age, we will bring failures here. Okay, you can see a student, and very clearly we can see a student have who have zero failures. Their average grade is 12.5, higher than any other group. Obviously, in case of those students who have two failures, it is slightly over 8.6 value, but this particular variable do has some difference. Uh, it is affecting grades, so we have to consider this. Next is FAMREL, which is quality of family relationships. That means 1 very bad to 5 excellent. So we can see those we have to see those students who have excellent family relationships. Do they have higher average grades, or those students who don't have? So here what we can do, uh, so here we have what failures and average of G3. Let's try to bring FAMREL here also. So you can see when we are trying to bring on x-axis the same thing, it is very difficult to analyze that. So currently we will just bring FAMREL here. So not fam size, FAMREL. And here you can see people with excellent family relationship have average of 12.34 and 11.63, a bit on the higher range, 3 also, but people who have very bad family relationships, the quality of family relationships have lower grades. Here we also have family size, GT3 greater than 3 less than 3. Obviously, this is family quality. Let's say we want to see that also. So here you can bring fam size as legend. So you will see, for less than 3 and greater than 3, and based on family relationship quality, the effect. So in different groups you can see the bars are indeed of different length. People who have less than 3 members, their average is higher here, 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 here. In one case, like family quality relationship of 2, the family quality 2, we have less value here. So that's how you can see the effect of different type of fam size on family quality and average grade. Now we have a lot of binary values, etc. values. Like for example, let's see, we have family educational support. We want to see what is the average grade of a student when family educational support is yes versus no. Okay, so for that we can use this type of charts, like we can use a donut chart or a pie chart. So let's say we use a uh, donut chart here, and in donut chart in legend you can bring something like family support. You will have values like yes or no, and in values you have to bring your numerical value. Instead of sum of G3 we will use average. So you can see in both cases there is a little effect, but yes, when family support is yes, the average grade value is 12.06 and it is 11.67 in case of no. So this way you can see the effect here. Okay, here it is called slices, so we can go to settings, and for yes we will use this color, for no we will use a red color. So this simply tells us average of G3 by different values of family support that we have. And let's adjust the height of bar. Yeah. Then we have paid, extra paid classes within the course or subject. So we can also use a similar type of graph here. Let's select the pie chart here. And here instead of family support, we will use extra paid classes. Average of G3 by paid. And here also we can use the similar kind of strategy. So, and definitely we can see a difference in average, where paid in this case, but it is opposite. Like when paid is no, in that case the average value is higher. When paid support is yes, in that case it is lower. So kind of reverse, but yeah, this has effect on average grade. So extra paid classes within the course subject, math or Portuguese. Similarly, we also have, just like we have family support, we also have a school support, right? So here we will just remove this and bring a school support here. And here also we can see in a school support, no, the grade is kind of reverse, should have been opposite. But if school support is yes, so we have 11.28, and this is school support, extra educational support. Okay, but since the parameters are very close to each other, we can ignore this one. Another variable we have is mother job and father job. So I will show you one of them, and similarly you can create for others also. So here you can see mother job, at home, health, other services, teacher. So obviously here we can use a pie chart or a donut chart. Let me show you. So here if we use m job here, so this is the variable m job or f job, whatever you want to bring, you can bring here. So average of G3 by mother job here. And here you can see 13.14 where mother is a teacher. So higher grades. When mother is in health industry, so 13.06. In case of at home, it is 11. So you can see for those mothers who are professional or working as a teacher, they are also kind of supporting their students. So this is good analysis here. And similarly, we can also bring father job here. So instead of mother job, we can see the effect of father job, whether it has any effect here or not. So we will bring it to legend. Let's zoom it. Again, if fathers are teacher, then 13.5. Same kind of thing we can see here as well. In case of other services, etc. So we can say that if father or mother is a teacher of a student, then their grades get improved. Okay. Now there is one more thing here. For example, here in slices, you can see different colors. Okay. So for example, teacher, let's say we will select a very dark color of our theme. Then this is slightly lower, so we will select a little lower color. Then a bit more, then less, and finally we can select the lightest color. So this is also one way to show a numerical value, you know, and darker shade of numerical value means higher value and lower shade means lower value. This is something that you can achieve with function also, but this is a way to show the answer. So either you can show it in different colors because these are different values, but if you want to see average grade, so this way it will be clear that this is the highest value, then lower. So you can show any particular order also. Next, mother, job and father job, these were given as a categorical value. So we could easily create it with pie chart or a donut chart. But in case of mother's education or father's education, the values are given as numerical value. That is 0, none, 1, primary education, 2, etc. So what if we want to see their combined effect on average grade of a student? So for that we can use a matrix chart here. Okay. In matrix chart in row, you can bring any one of them. Let's bring mother's education. Okay. And in columns, we will bring father's education. This is something that we could have done here also, but just showing you different type of visuals. Father's education. Now it will ask for values. So values, we will simply choose our grade 3 that we are using for analysis here and average. And here we can see an output like this. Okay. So here we have total. So if mother education is 0, average value is 11.67. For 1, 10.60. So this is for mother education. Similarly, for father's education, it will be like here. So we have rows in mother education. Yeah. So for different values of mother education versus father education, you can visualize this, and you can see the average, and you can see, for example, here 12.40, 13.13. So when you can see the combination here, okay, and this is something that first let's you know increase its size also, and here you can bring a colored matrix also, because that's why we have chosen the matrix chart. So for example, you can go here, and in your cell elements you can enable data bars, okay, where you will be able to see the high values. Obviously these values are very close to each other, but you can see here 13.13, you can see. And similarly we can copy the same kind of styling here also if you want. So this is mother educations versus father education, the numerical values compared together. We can also show categorical distribution in a funnel chart. In a funnel chart, it is basically higher and automatically arranges it in higher to lower values. So let's see. So we have things like a school here. We also have reason here, like their house is, course, home, other, reputation. So reason is simply reason to choose the school. Okay. So let's see for different reasons to choose the school. On the basis of that, what is the distribution? So we will bring reason here as category and value here as average of G3. So here you can see those who have selected a school for course, their average. This is showing percentage. So first we have to select average here. So now it will show average 12.94, the highest value. Then 12.18, and percentage of first 94.1111, 94.11, 89.21 percentage of first, and percentage of previous also is 94.8. So it will show you on the, like, it will consider the highest value as 100% and average value as 12.94. Then on the basis of average of G3, this is the second level, reason is home. Percentage of first is 94.11 and percentage of previous is 94.11. Similarly, here you can see percentage of previous is 94.8 and here 89.21. So this is similarly how you can see our final chart. So it is somewhere between 100 percentile and 82.6 percentile. Here also in visual you can see we have data labels. You can show the value inside center or wherever you want to show. You have values also. You have background if you want to enable. You also have your category labels. You can make them bold like this. So you have different type of options here. You have colors. By default we will use the color that we have been using. So this gives us. Similarly here also in matrix chart we have enabled the bars. So in cell element data bars are enabled. So we will go to FX here to change the positive bar color and select something that is out of our theme. You can say that when bars are selected, maybe values are not visible. So let's see values. Let's select a white color for them. So now values are also visible. This is a simple way to create this. We also have an important value which is a school. So we can use slicer to create a filter here. So we'll just use the slicer here, and in slicer we have to bring the fields. So we will bring school here as a field, and here we are going to select setting. In slicer setting you can select a tile because we only have two values, GP and MS, and obviously you can go there and You can change the value colors, make the font bold. You also have slicer header, so you can make the slicer header bold. You can change its color, and this will give you a simple selection. You can enable its same effect like shadow, visual border, border color, shadow also we have selected this time as the same color. And now suppose we select GP, so you will see the entire data for the GP school and for MSA school. How is it varying for different cases. You can see it has very little effect in average of G3 by paid, but in other cases like average GT by family relationship and family size is changing. So this will simply give you a simple insight on performance of different schools, performance of students in different schools. So this is our one dashboard, which is student performance in grade 3. Now we can simply duplicate this and duplicate this. So this is, we can say, grade 2 dashboard. So let's rename it to grade 2 dashboard, and we will rename it once again to grade 3 dashboard, grade 1 dashboard. So, and here we will simply change it to grade 2, and here it will change it to grade 1. All you have to do is you can go there, and here for example we selected grade 3, we will simply select grade 2 here. We selected grade 3. You can see the headings also. Make sure all the headings are also correct. Here on y-axis we selected grade 3. We will select grade 2, and don't summarize. Where it is a scatter plot, you just have to use don't summarize. So similarly, you can change it in every place here. And this is a simple dashboard that we have created for understanding student performance. What is the effect of different type of parameters on student performance? Obviously, because of space limitation, we were able to just use some of them. Actually, there are around 30 of them that we can see. So you can create more copies, and for example, from parameter 1 to 15 you can keep in one dashboard, from 16 to 30 you can keep in other dashboard. So you can do it like that as well. I hope you like this tutorial. Again, most of these tutorials that we are creating nowadays are focused on just visuals and seeing effect of different features on different target values. So we are using very less amount of DAX calculations, but for DAX related tutorials we are also preparing more analysis reports. So please subscribe to our channel so that when we will release those videos you will get a notification. And we already have more than 20 videos focusing on DAX functions, so you can learn from them as well. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.